And let me just say this. All well put together girls read. You cannot grow, learn, succeed in life without reading, okay? Without knowledge. And how do you get knowledge? Through opening a book. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shaw, and I make videos for girls who are trying to thrive in their early 20s. Okay, so we have been on a journey to become very well put together girls and take care of all 5 areas of our life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. I made a video at the beginning of January where I talked about how to become a well put together girl, and I talked about the 5 areas of our lives that we all should be taking care of and attending to. Alright, so if you want to know all about that, make sure you go and click the link or click the bar at the top. But in this video, we are going to discuss 5 books that every girl should read in her early 20s. I have read through all of these books. I have done the work for you, so you don't have to go searching for the right books to read. I dedicated the past 4 years of my life to finding the best books for us young girls to read to help us thrive in our life, and I'm going to share them with you. Each book that I'm going to share with you is going to connect to one of the 5 areas of our life. Each book is going to help you and give you the information that you need so that you can cultivate that area and ultimately become the best version of you. And let me just say this. All well put together girls read. You cannot grow, learn, succeed in life without reading, okay? Without knowledge. And how do you get knowledge? Through opening a book. I saw a TikTok where this girl was talking about advice that her mom gave her. I think it was her mom or her grandma. But it went like this, okay? If you're ever searching for the answer to something in life, guaranteed there's a book about it. Somebody has written a book about it. With that being said, let's get into the books that you should be reading as a girl in her early 20s. Let's start with a money book. Everybody loves a good money book. It's probably one of the best finance books that I've read. I've read quite a few. And it is called The Illusion of Money. I know a lot of these books I read on my iPad, so I don't have physical copies. The finance book that every girl should read is called The Illusion of Money. And now this book doesn't necessarily tell you what exactly to do with your money. It instead shows the effect that money has on us mentally and emotionally, which I think is way more powerful. It challenges all the beliefs and mindsets that we have around our money, and it shows us better ways to deal with our finances. So the author really goes in and he shows us how to stop letting money control everything that we do and everything that we feel. And it's so important that we learn how to not let money control us, but to live not based on how much money we have, but based on who we are. This is the perfect book for us girls in our early 20s because we are just starting our finance journey. A lot of us are just coming out of college, we've got our big girl jobs, and we are just starting to get our finances together. And you'd be surprised how much of a hold money has on us mentally, money has on us emotionally, and all of the things that we believe around money. And a lot of our habits that we have financially stem from our mindsets and our emotional ties to money. A lot of the things we spend money on is not because we actually need those things, but it's because of some emotional belief that we have. What's right or what's wrong, it's more based on how we feel and what we're scared of. And this book dives deep into all of that. The Illusion of Money. That is a finance book that every girlie should be reading. Let's not let our money control us anymore. Alright, next is the fitness and health category. Now this book that I've chosen is not going to be what you think, but it's still so crucial for us young ladies. Our menstrual cycle takes a swift turn in our 20s, okay? And this is like research that I've read and information that I found. Our 20s are our prime birthing years, right? This is the time where we're really supposed to be having babies. If you look at how humans have lived throughout history, like this is now. We are supposed to be mothers now, okay? Because of the way society is set up, that's not really the case. But this is the time that our bodies expect us to be having babies. So everything surrounding our periods and our menstrual cycles intensifies. All the symptoms, everything we go through, it gets taken to another level once we hit 20, 21, 22. And when I was in middle school, I could handle being on my period. Like it was no stress for me. And then I turned 22 and all of a sudden my period is kicking my behind every month. Like, it has interrupted my life so much, and this book has really helped me so much to understand what's going on in my menstrual cycle and how I need to take care of myself through different parts of the cycle. This book is called Period Power by Maisie Hill. Alright, so this author, she uses science, she uses anatomy, and she uses stories to show us what takes place during our menstrual cycle. She gives specific actions that we can take and that we need to do in different parts of our cycle. There are different parts of the cycle that we go through, and what I love is that she connects the different parts of our cycle to the different seasons of the year. And when I tell you, it is so helpful, and when I read it, it like opened my mind. I was just able to understand what was happening in my head and in my body during different times of the month. I love how practical she is. Like, she gives tips on what to eat, what to wear, what to do. It is just a great book for us young ladies so that we can live our lives and not let our menstrual cycle or periods run us into a wall. Because listen, on the topic of mental health, because we just did fitness, right, and physical health, so for mental health, this book changed my life, and that is The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. I'm having a hard time pronouncing names, y'all, I'm sorry. You've probably seen it or heard about it, or maybe you've even read it. It's a popular book, but this book brings to life all of the different ways that we tend to self-sabotage. And this is something that I think us young ladies struggle with a lot. I think this is something that all human beings struggle with, but I feel like a lot of us as young people, we start things, or we, you know, make goals and we get motivated and then we just never fulfill them, or we get discouraged. We self-sabotage a lot. That's why it's so important to read this book and learn the different patterns that you might have. In this book, the author goes through so many ways that we try to sabotage ourselves. Different like beliefs that we might have, different things that might have happened to us. Even like physically, she talks about how your environment can cause you to self-sabotage. The people around you can cause you to self-sabotage. She just lists so many ways that we tend to stop ourselves from reaching our goals and reaching our full potential. It's so important that we know what our patterns are, what our habits are, because as we get older, if we don't address those habits and those patterns now, they're just gonna get more cemented and more firm in our lives. And the more firm these patterns get, the harder it is to change them. And then that's not even it. We pass these patterns and these habits down to our children and our grandchildren, and then we have generations of people after us who have all of these self-sabotaging patterns, and it's terrible. We really want to tackle these beliefs and all of these habits now so that we can start creating healthier ones, so that when it is time for us to create families and start a legacy, we're passing down healthy habits and healthy mindsets to our children and grandchildren. Alright, moving right along. So this is for our career section of our life. The book that I really suggest is 48 Laws of Power. Now hold up. Before you roll your eyes and come at me, I know that everybody talks about this book, and I know this is like a man's book, but just hear me out. As young adults, as girls in our early 20s, we are starting our careers, we are joining the workforce. And if there's one thing that joining the workforce has taught me, is that there are rules. And I'm not talking about like your HR policies and your company handbook and all of that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the unspoken, silent rules of how to conduct yourself in a professional environment. And believe it or not, as much as I hate it, it is so true that there is such a thing as workplace politics, and you have to know how to handle people in your workplace. I am all about hard skills. Like, I am all about going to work, doing a good job, and then coming home. And I wish that that's all we had to do in the corporate setting. But I am telling you, those soft skills are so important. Knowing how to handle people in the workplace is so important. And humans are humans, and you can get caught up in workplace politics without even trying to. So it's important for us to understand how humans work and to understand the politics of like the work environment, and this book is so helpful. And I am a big believer in take what you need and leave the rest. I know that not everything in this book might be applicable to all of us, and we might not want to apply all of it, but there are some tips in here that have helped me so much. Girl, I know how people feel about this book, but definitely check it out and read through some of the laws that are in here, okay? So now we have come to the faith category. My favorite book for faith, other than the Bible, of course, is It's Not Supposed to Be This Way by Lisa TeCurtis. I hope I'm saying that right once again. I mean, we will face a lot of disappointment, and we have already faced a lot of disappointment as young adults, especially in this society we live in this world, in this economy. We are facing a lot of disappointment, and we have faced a lot of disappointment. And we face disappointment from people, but also, if we're honest, sometimes we get really disappointed in God. Going through our early 20s comes with a lot of ups and downs. We're still trying to build our lives and just figure our lives out. And a lot of times things do not work out the way we think or the way we want them to. We lose friends, we lose money, right? We don't get married by the time we want to get married. Relationships don't work out. We end up in like the most uncomfortable situations. Maybe we're not in the best living situation that we could be in. We face a lot of disappointment as young people. And this book shows us how to manage the hurt, how to manage the letdowns, and it reveals how God is there for us and how God shows up for us even in the worst, darkest of moments. And I mean, I don't know where I would be without this book. I really don't. And I go back to this book over and over and over. And it not only shows us how to go to God when we face certain difficulties in life, but it also gives practical tips on how to go through situations and not lose our faith and not lose our hope. This book is phenomenal, and I would suggest this book to every girl. It's so amazing. It's such an amazing book. All right, and we have come to the fifth and final area, which is our personal life. And the book that I have for this area is Everyday Magic by Mattie James. I am a huge Mattie James fan. If you don't know who she is a influencer, but she's not just an influencer, she is a wife, she's a mother of 3 children, and she's just incredible. And so she's written this book called Everyday Magic, and if you want to take your daily life to like the next level, this is the book that you need to read, and she is the woman that you need to follow. I mean, she's given us systems, she's given us habits, she's given us actions to implement so that we can live fun, healthy lives, and so that we can thrive, okay? And that, you know, that's what we're about here. I mean, she covers everything in this book, everything from cleaning routines to how to file certain documents to how to set up your closet. Like right now, the way my closet is set up is based on this book. She gets so into detail in this book and about everything, like not just like your wardrobe, but about every single aspect of your daily life. And if you want to become a well put together woman, a well put together young lady, this is the book that you need to read. Whenever there are certain sections of the personal area of my life that, you know, I need to like take care of, I am going to this book. How does Mattie do this? Like, how does Mattie set up this part of her life? Because this book has like tips on top of tips. Like, she is giving out like the key. So it's a great book, and I highly recommend it. 5 stars. So those are 5 books that I believe every young girl in her early 20s should be reading. These are 5 books that I love, I enjoy, and that have helped me so much in all of these areas of my life. When I was in college, I was not playing. Like, I was making sure that everything that came up in my life, everything that I had to face in college, I was looking for a book to show me how to deal with that thing or that situation. I played no games in college, and I'm still that way now. Whenever there's an area of my life that I feel like I need a bit more help, I go and search for a book, I go and search for someone who has written a book who has done the research, and I read. Okay, and that helps me so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any books that you want to share. I love to read, so I'm open to any and all recommendations. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Keep doing amazing. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.